minus 10, 9, 8.
The clock is operating. We're underway.
Tranquility Base here.
Endeavor, go at throttle.
On an absolutely glorious Tuesday afternoon, bluebird skies, warm conditions, and we are ready for some ladies GS Championship ski racing here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Hi, everybody. Boss Hogg alongside Alex Beatty as we are set to bring you run number 2. We're in just about 25 minutes. We will crown the 2015 Women's National Champion here in the Giant Slalom. Alex, an incredible first run, 102 ski racers down. We only lost 4 racers. I believe we've got 98 racers now left to come down for run number 2, and one of those ladies is going to take home the hardware in just a few minutes.
Absolutely, boss. All eyes are on Brown University's Natalie Pearl, the fastest racer down in the first run. She'll be skiing 30th, of course. We flipped the top 30 racers. She had a lightning fast first run, 58.88 seconds, almost a full half second faster than last year's Giant Slalom champion, Frida Svedberg out of Rocky Mountain College. Boss, look to those two to duke it out here in today's second run.
Sit back, relax, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a barn burner on the plate for you here at the USCSA Broadcast Network. The 2015 USCSA National Championships. They're brought to you in part by Patagonia. Their mission? To build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Learn more at Patagonia.com. Patagonia, proud supporters of the USCSA. And by Reliable Racing. Whether it's Alpine and Nordic ski racing apparel and equipment, hill and event supply, sports timing equipment, or just hard to find race gear, Reliable Racing is your one-stop shop. Check them out on the web at ReliableRacing.com. And by Twitchell Sportswear, the home of Yeti apparel. When you're facing truly abominable weather, the Yeti has you covered. Check out the complete collection at TwitchellSportswear.com. Proud supporters of the USCSA. We could not have ordered a better afternoon for championship ski racing than we have here at the beautiful Mount Bachelor in Central Oregon, atop the fiery volcano in the Cascade Range. 25 degrees Fahrenheit, -4 degrees Celsius, but boy, it feels like 50 here in the sun. Clear skies, light winds. We'll start today's race at 2,321 meters. We'll finish at 1,985 meters for a total vertical drop of 336 meters. 43 gates of fun for these ladies in run number 2, 38 direction changes, and our chief of race is John Schemer. An incredible first run. The ladies throwing down the goods. Of course, the lady to beat is from Brown University. That's Natalie Pearl, the Alchemist. She's followed by Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College. Caroline Sandin Gustafson from College of Idaho in the 3rd spot, but look how tight they are, close together, 58.88, 59.35, 59.66. Then it's Johanna Tikkanen from Sierra Nevada College in the pack of Eagles, followed by her teammate Melissa Daniels, Francesca Curtolo, and Emily Lamoureux in the 7th position. Then from the Air Force Academy, Sydney Solti, followed by Gabby Genshef from St. Olaf, and rounding out your top 10 after run number 1 from St. Olaf College, it's McKenna McNabb. Alex Beatty, anybody's race. Just a second separating the top 4 competitors here. Anything can happen in the second run of a GS. Who's it going to be?
Well, boss, it could be anybody, as you say. Right now, Sierra Nevada College holding the lead here behind some incredible performances. As you mentioned, 4 racers in the top 7 right now. They are a full 3 seconds, 3.57 seconds ahead of Rocky Mountain College, sitting in the second position. Of course, always a rivalry between the Battling Bears from Billings, Montana, and the Screamin' Eagles from Sierra Nevada College. Right now, Brown University sitting in third, only a couple tenths of a second behind Rocky Mountain College. That can all change, though. Sierra Nevada looking strong with a lot of team depth in the first run. It'll take a lot for those other teams to overcome Sierra Nevada, but boss, anything can happen. That's why we love ski racing.
No doubt the war has always been between Sierra Nevada College and Rocky Mountain College. Coach Branko Zagar out of Incline Village for Sierra Nevada. Always competitive with Coach Jerry Wolf and his team from Rocky Mountain College. And sure enough, 2015 Women's Giant Slalom, the matchup remains. Sierra Nevada in first, Rocky Mountain in second, just 3.5 seconds behind. But take a look at third place. Brown University, just 4.01 seconds behind Sierra Nevada and only a half a second behind Rocky Mountain. Anything can happen when they take all the scores and add them up.
That's right, boss. The key here is team depth. Sierra Nevada and Rocky Mountain having a lot of athletes finishing in that top 30. Brown, not as many. So Sierra Nevada and Rocky Mountain can survive a couple falls here in the second run. Of course, nobody wants that, but it does happen in ski racing. So we'll see what the records show tonight. And we'll, of course, be crowning a national giant slalom champion here at Mount Bachelor.
Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College. She knows all about winning national championships. This year, or last year, the defending champion, she won by 2.5 seconds in the GS. It was a complete blowout in Lake Placid, New York. But obviously this year, things have changed as Natalie Pearl from Brown University throwing down a lightning fast run earlier this morning here on the Thunderbird Run.
That's right, boss. Rocky Mountain took home the gold last year. They're looking to establish a dynasty here. They took home their first ever Giant Slalom Championship for the ladies last year, and you've got to know that Jerry Wolf would love to bring home the hardware back to Billings, boss. Should be a great afternoon of ski racing.
Sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring it all to you live right here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Of course, 3 venue-wide on the network today. You can tune into the snowboard competition, the ladies and men's rail jam. Both skiers and snowboarders taking place at the Mount Bachelor snowboard venue. Of course, that's broadcast live here on the network. Brad J. and Mark Oliver bringing you the call from there. We have Alpine coverage for you here on the Thunderbird Trail. Nordic already finished up with the men's and women's 7.5 kilometer classic earlier this morning. We hope you had a chance to tune into that broadcast on Channel 3. But now it is time to focus on ladies giant slalom. The big dogs are ready to fight as Rocky Mountain College, Brown University, and Sierra Nevada College battle it out for this year's National Team Championship. We could not have asked for a better day here at Mount Bachelor in beautiful Central Oregon, right outside of Bend. Of course, the USCSA volunteer team arriving Friday and Saturday of last week, spending 3 days to set this magnificent Alpine venue up. And of course, all of the athletes coming into town on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, ready for the opening of competition today. And boy, we have converted Mount Bachelor into a massive ski racing, snowboard, and free ski competition and Nordic competition venue. And they have been nothing but fantastic here to work with the folks at Mount Bachelor.
That's right, boss. We'll ring in the festivities with, I believe, a parade tonight in downtown Bend. They're closing off some of the streets. I believe they have fire dancing on the menu for tonight. Should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to kick back, unwind a little bit, and maybe socialize with some of these athletes that I talk so very much about this week. Should be an exciting time. And if you're in the area, come on down to Bend tonight and check out the action for yourself. Should be a wild ride, boss.
All fires up at 7 p.m. in downtown Bend, Oregon this evening. They'll block off the streets. They'll fire up the music. We'll introduce the athletes and have just one heck of a time. Opening ceremonies for the USCSA National Championships tonight in downtown Bend, all starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, you can check out all of the archive coverage here from the 2015 National Championships at broadcast.uscsa.com. Just click on the Archives tab and you'll be transported to wherever you need to see your athlete and the race that he or she competed in earlier in the afternoon. Meanwhile, we are ready for forerunners here on run number 2. Of course, about 25-30 minutes ago, the ladies had a chance to go and inspect this course, the second run. The slip went pretty quick. Really a hero set here on this run, this Thunderbird pitch. Not too steep, not too turny, not too curvy, but that really means you have to have technical prowess to win this race today.
That's right, boss. A bit of a straighter set this afternoon. Gates a little bit close together. Should make for a pretty speedy run. The conditions have softened up a little bit, so kind of slidey atmosphere there. The slip and slide, that's what we used to call it. So these racers will be able to track really well and make their way down the course very quickly, expecting a very fast second run here, but we'll get those times to you shortly, and we'll be able to do a comparison. Of course, exhaustion wearing in, you have to imagine, after a brutally long first run. The fastest time, a 58.88. That's very long for a GS course like this. So definitely we saw some tired athletes in the finish corral, and we'll see how they hold up this afternoon.
Unlike last year at the 2014 National Championships in Lake Placid, New York, where we were staring at temperatures of 35 below zero, snow blowing sideways, winds of 70 miles an hour is just incredible. You wondered how anyone was able to successfully navigate 45 gates of GS. Frida Svedberg, of course, showing that she can ski in absolutely anything, did exactly that. But what a difference a year makes. As we come out here to Mount Bachelor, it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, blue skies, warm temperatures, but it really does change the composition of the snow. Alex, as a former ski racer yourself, talk about waxing and what they need to do to prepare for a day like today in the GS.
Well, boss, the key for warm days like today is to take every color of wax and melt them together in a giant bucket. Stir it all together to get a nice brown color. That's what you're looking for, and apply that to the bottoms of the skis. Perfect for these warm and wet conditions, and I saw a lot of athletes working on that this morning.
Well, they were making announcements up at the top start shack to be careful of the brown wax. So I don't know how many people have used the brown wax, but if they have, they may be in for a wild ride here on the Thunderbird Trail. Boss Hogg and Alex Beatty bringing you the fun here from the Broadcast Center on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Glad you're with us on the World Wide Web. Tune in all week long. Tomorrow it is the men's turn. We'll bring you live coverage of run number 1 for the men's GS tomorrow morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then back again at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for the second run where we will crown the men's GS national champion. Who's it going to be? Will Nils Hogbaum, the Bong from Rocky Mountain College, will he defend his national championship? Or will senior from Sierra Nevada College, Jaka Yazbek, he's been wanting gold since his freshman year in Sunday River, will he see it in his final ski race of the giant slalom in his college career? Tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll bring you all the live coverage right here from Mount Bachelor. A little late starting here. We had a scheduled 1 p.m. start time, and looks like we still have yet to bring our forerunners down. Always an honor to be selected as a forerunner in the USCSA National Championships. We'll give you their names in just a minute as soon as our timing system uploads them. Meanwhile, enjoy the beauty here of Mount Bachelor, as we certainly are from our vantage point here at the bottom of the finish corral.
Well, you know, boss, conditions like this warm, kind of melty conditions, requires a lot of coursework, and it's just a testament to the USCSA team here. You can see slippers coming down constantly, making sure nothing gets rutted out. Want these athletes down safe and sound, but as fast as possible. We want them to be able to let it all hang out here in this second run. Throw caution to the wind. Of course, as I've mentioned, there is no third run here, so skiing conservative may get you to the bottom, but it may not get you that podium that everyone wants.
38 schools represented here in run number 2 of the women's GS. 96 ski racers. Of course, we will take the top 30 from run number 1. We reverse the order. That's called the flip in alpine ski racing. We'll bring them down in that order. And we'll fire things up with Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho. Qualifying 30th fastest in the morning session, she'll be number 1 down the run. Then we'll see Kinsey Dignas from Cornell University. She'll be followed by Taylor Manderson from Clarkson. Then it's Rocky Mountain College's Susan Becks, followed by Lisa Kotke from St. Olaf. Then Castleton's Lisa Davis in the 6th position. Jill Murray from St. Anselm's in the 7th slot. She'll be followed by Isabella Lynch from Syracuse and Tatum Alkier from Babson in the 8th and 9th position. And rounding out the top 10 starters here in run number 2, Maya Nakamura from College of Idaho. They go from slowest to fastest in the top 30. Waiting for the big dogs in slots 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. That's Melissa Daniels, Johanna Tikkanen. That's Gustafson from College of Idaho, Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain, and then the one to watch, Natalie Pearl, with a blistering time of 58.88 in the morning session. All eyes on those 5 positions, and we will probably know right then exactly who's taking home the gold today. Last night in downtown Bend, a fantastic coach's reception at the River Bend or River Walk or River something place. Very nice place we enjoyed. I ate all the crab cakes. Gives an opportunity for all the coaches to get together and have one night before competition starts. It's always fun to see the returning people, the new people coming into town.
You know, boss, very genial atmosphere. The coaches understand it's all about the kids, you know, getting them up here, having them perform at their best, you know. The glory is all about them, and these coaches are just happy to be a part of it, boss.
That is what the United States Collegiate Skiing and Snowboard Association is all about. It is about having fun, and these kids have fun this week. You know, we talked about it as we welcomed the coaches to the event last night before the seed meetings, about how important and what type of memories are actually created at the Nationals each and every year. We go through the summer and through the fall into the next season, and you hear these kids talk about that 1 week at national championships. We always feel honored to be a part of that. We hope you are glad to be a part of it as well on the USCSA Broadcast Network, as our first 4 runners are now coming down the run. Of course, this is a great opportunity for those ladies to radio back up to the top, any kind of conditions that need to be addressed, but I will tell you, this thing looks just about perfect, Alex.
Absolutely, boss. Looking very fast here. As I mentioned, a much straighter set. You wouldn't know it from looking at it at this particular angle, but those gates are set almost straight down the hill there in the pitchy section. Will allow these athletes to carry a lot of speed into the flats where technique is critical. We need to be seeing the bottoms of those skis. They need to carve their way down into the bottom pitch so they can carry as much speed as possible towards the finish line. If you scrub any speed in the flats, it can be really hard to finish with a fast time, and that is what all of these athletes are chasing, boss.
Indeed they are. The lady to beat today from Brown University, Natalie Pearl. Everybody gunning for her with the fastest time of the morning session. Svedberg knows how to come from behind, but she's usually in the lead after run number 1, so this is an unfamiliar position for Svedberg. Certainly last year at Lake Placid was ahead by a second after the first run, then doubled it up in the second run to win by 2. Certainly wasn't very competitive for Svedberg last year, but this year she's got her hands full with Natalie Pearl from Brown.
That's right, boss. A little friendly competition there, I'm sure. Keeping Frida Svedberg on her toes. Of course, she took home the regionals title for the Western Division by over 2.5 seconds. So, blistering fast, but Natalie Pearl, a regional champion as well.
And then while Pearl and Svedberg are battling it out, can Caroline Gustafson, the newcomer from the College of Idaho, the Yotes from Caldwell, Idaho. While those two ladies are battling it out, sometimes it leaves the door wide open for place number 3, 4, and 5.
Absolutely, boss. And Gustafson single-handedly keeping the College of Idaho in it here with that blistering, lightning fast first run. College of Idaho, I believe, sitting in 5th right now. They're right now on the outside looking in, but they could pick up a lot of ground here if they can lay down some solid second runs. And they hope to have a shot at this elusive giant slalom podium.
As you said earlier this morning, Alex, Ron Bonneau, the coach of College of Idaho, with a young team, but certainly as we watch every single year, this team get better and better and better. And this year, out of nowhere, a new superstar at the College of Idaho. Keep your eyes on bib number 13. That's Caroline Sandin Gustafson from the COI. Of course, Coach Bronco Zagar from Sierra Nevada, always fielding a competitive team. Johanna Tikkanen, Melissa Daniels, Francesca Curtolo, Emily Lamoureux. But just as impressive, Rocky Mountain College with Camille Viralode, Malin Erickson, Susan Becks, and of course Frida Svedberg. These are two powerhouse teams stacked to the gills.
That's right, boss. The hopes of the entire European continent resting on these two teams, battling it out here as usual in the giant slalom. Anyone's race, so sit back and relax, and we'll get underway shortly with this second run of ladies giant slalom.
Have two of our four runners already now down the course. Looks like we're going to have three, maybe four runners, and then we'll get started. Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho wearing bib 67. She'll be first out of the box.
And thanks for joining us for our 8th hour of pre-second run giant slalom coverage. Looking forward to getting things underway here, hopefully before the chairlifts close this afternoon.
Well, the best part is right before we went to air, we called up the timing. You said, because it didn't look like it was ready to start the second run. Like it looked empty up there, like nobody was there. And sure enough, we said, hey, are we going to start this thing at 1 o'clock? They said, oh, yeah, we're going to start it at 1 o'clock. You know, that's why we have you here, Alex, because if we have a 15-minute fill requirement, we can just go to Alex Beatty and he can take care of that. Thank goodness.
Well, that's why I get paid the big bucks, boss.
Indeed it is.
You can see the T-shirts are coming out here at Mount Bachelor. Temperatures reaching in the upper 40s today. Some T-shirts skiing, of course. A lot of these East Coast racers happy to just be out of the frigid East Coast, the polar vortex that has consumed the entire East, and snow and cold. They're just happy to be outside, boss. I've just gotten word of the source of the delay, some unexpected seismic activity at the top of Mount Bachelor.
She's ready to blow.
That's right. Just want to make sure there's no kind of seismic disturbance that could cause a rerun being required for some of these athletes. So they're just making sure everything's under control. They don't want any kind of eruptions to take place during this race, and I'm sure we'll get things underway momentarily.
Looks like we have another forerunner on course now. As we get ready to start things up here, gives us an opportunity to go over tomorrow's broadcast schedule here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. We'll fire things up tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. right here at the Alpine venue. It'll be the first run of the men's giant slalom. You can check it out here on Channel 1 at broadcast.uscsa.com. Then at 9:45 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll head over to the Nordic venue. Jason Albert and Bert Hinckley will bring you the call for the women's and the men's 1.5-kilometer freestyle sprint. Just the preliminaries on the morning show over at Nordic. That can be seen on Channel 3. Then at 11 o'clock, we fire up at the snowboard and freestyle venue for the women's and men's snowboard slopestyle finals. Brad J. and Mark Oliver bringing you the coverage. Then at 11:45 a.m., back to Nordic for the women's and men's 1.5-kilometer freestyle sprint finals, also to be seen on Channel 3. Then at 12:45 tomorrow afternoon, right back here at the Broadcast Shack at the Alpine venue for the second and final run of the men's giant slalom. That's on Channel 1. And our final broadcast tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., the women's and men's freestyle slopestyle finals. On Channel 2, Brad J. and Mark Oliver back with the call on that. So a full plate of snow sports competition fun from the USCSA National Championships here in Bend, Oregon at beautiful Mount Bachelor atop the fiery volcano. Right here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. We hope you'll tune in and enjoy. And looks like we're finally underway here. Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho wearing bib number 67. She is on course. High atop, just out of the start shack now, should be coming into view. And now into the middle third comes Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho. 30th fastest after run number 1 this morning with a 104.04. Always nice to be the first down the track. A clean course, no ruts have developed. And as amazingly warm as it is here, Alex Beatty, this snow has held up firm as can be in the tracks as we see Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho now making her way into the lower third. Here comes Tansley with 8 gates to go. She'll be followed by Kinsey Dignas from Cornell, who's now on course. Now into the last 4 gates comes Eleanor Tansley from the College of Idaho. Tansley now tucking, driving to the finish and across the stripe is Eleanor Tansley with a time of 103.09 and a combined time of 207.13. So Eleanor Tansley, your leader here in run number 2. Kinsey Dignas from Cornell University wearing bib number 11. She was 29th fastest after run number 1 with a 104.01 in the morning session. Faster than Tansley in the intermediate split shack comes Kinsey Dignas. Now Kinsey Dignas making her way into the final 8 gates, carrying good speed, but had to scrape a lot of speed there. She got in the back seat, Alex. It is hard to make it up here in the final 5 gates, but she's going to try. Here comes Kinsey Dignas from Cornell University. 3 gates to go for Dignas. And now across the stripe, into the corral is Kinsey Dignas. And it definitely slowed her down. A 105.06 in the second run with a combined time of 209.07. You can see where it happened.
Yeah, you know, boss, it's that transition from the flats into the steeps there. It can kind of throw you off guard. You really got to set that edge or else you might slip out a little bit. You can lose a lot of speed, so that could be a trouble area for some of these racers.
Now we see Taylor Manderson from Clarkson. Manderson making good time through the center part of the course. Now around the chicane, dropping down into the final 8 gates. It's Taylor Manderson from Clarkson. She was 28th fastest after the morning run with a 103.80. Now into the tuck. And pushing towards the finish line comes Taylor Manderson with a second run time of 104.21 and a combined time of 208.01. Good enough for second place. So if the volcano erupts right now, we've got a podium. It's Eleanor Tansley, Taylor Manderson, and Kinsey Dignas in your top 3 slots. Susan Becks from Rocky Mountain College wearing bib number 100. 27th fastest in the morning session with a 103.79. Now Susan Becks. Becks into the final 2 gates from Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain wants the team championship. They'll need a good performance from Becks here. She stays solid. And into the corral comes Susan Becks with the fastest time of the second session already, 100.69. A lightning fast run for Susan Becks from Rocky Mountain College, and that puts her in the lead with a 204.48. Lightning fast from Susan Becks. I'll tell you what, Alex Beatty, 100.69, that's a time to look at for this second run.
You're not wrong, boss. She struggled a little bit in that first run, but she came out here this afternoon with something to prove, and I think she made her point, boss. Lightning fast run from Rocky Mountain College's Susan Becks.
They'll scrape things out high above the course here. Some of the powder getting into the track. They want to get rid of that. These ladies want to be running on blue ice if at all possible. Of course, temperatures warmer here this afternoon, causing things to soften up and loosen up. That will become more of an issue as we go through the field here in run number 2. Next up, awaiting run number 2 at the start shack from St. Olaf College. It's Lisa Kotke wearing bib number 91. She was 26th fastest after the morning session with a 103.60. She's going to need to pour it on, though, as Susan Bex lays down a fast time of 1:00:69 in run 2. It looks like they're going to try to scrape as much of this snow off as they can. Now, that's the one thing about being out west, Alex Beatty. When it snows, it stays light and fluffy for a long, long time. Not a lot of humidity out here, so the snow is extremely arid. And because of that, it stays powdery for day after day after day. It was probably 3 days ago since this mountain got snow, but it feels like it just snowed last night.
Yes, indeed, boss. Unfamiliar conditions for a lot of these East Coast skiers. You have to wonder if it's going to at all affect their performance this week. They just haven't had the opportunity to train in conditions like this. But, of course, right now, our leader in East Coast skier herself, Natalie Pearl of Brown University, certainly didn't affect her in her first run. We'll see if that time can hold up this afternoon.
Here comes Lisa Kotke from St. Olaf's College now. Kotke a little bit in the back seat as she makes this transition. This was tricky. This part right here on this GS run was tricky this morning. Looks like the girls are having a little bit better job. Very late on that turn. Kotke's really going to have to get back into position here. She scrubbed a lot of speed. And across the finish line, we'll see Lisa Kotke here as she makes her way to the last gate, punching the stripe with a second run time of 103.75, so she was able to pick up a little bit more speed down at the bottom of the run. That gives her a combined time of 2:07.35, good enough for third place. Your leader still Susan Bex from Rocky Mountain College. She's followed by College of Idaho's Eleanor Tansley. And rounding out your top 3 from St. Olaf, it's Lisa Kotke. Now on course, Lisa Davis, wearing bib 47 from Castleton College. Lisa Davis now coming out of the middle section into the lower 30. Gates to go for Davis. She'll be followed by Jill Murray from St. Anselm's. Here comes Lisa Davis. Davis now into the final 3 gates. Davis in the tuck, trying to stay on edge and punching the stripe with a time of 104.09 and a combined time of 2:07.59. Good enough for fourth place for Lisa Davis. Bib number 43, Jill Murray from St. Anselm's College, now on course, 24th fastest after the morning session with a 103.37. She wants to take Susan Bex off the top of the podium from Rocky Mountain College. Now let's see how she makes the transition into the lower third. 8 gates to go here for Jill Murray. A little bit of the back seat right there on that turn. She's going to have to really pour it on here with 2 gates to go. Driving to the finish, it's Jill Murray from St. Anselm's College. Into the tuck and across the finish line in a time of 103.86. Good enough for fourth place on the second run and third place in the combined, 2:07.23. So it's Bex, Tansley, Murray, Kotke, and Davis, your top 5. Now back to live action midway up the course here on the Thunderbird Trail at Mount Bachelor, Oregon. Isabella Lynch. Here comes Isabella Lynch. Successfully navigates the middle part of the run. Now dropping into the lower third, and she's had a crash. She was unable to make that transition. Alex Beatty, as you saw, she tried to put a hard left boot on it, and it just chattered until it let go. And that's going to be the end of the day for Isabella Lynch. A tough break for the Syracuse Orangemen.
Yeah, it's that same problem area I was talking about before, that transition. She was looking so strong there on the flats, but couldn't make the transition into the steeps, and that downhill leg just couldn't hold up, just chattered right out from under her, and she is done for the day. You hate to see that, boss.
Tough break for Isabella Lynch. Meanwhile, back to live action. Babson College's Tatum Alkier wearing bib number 23. She was 22nd fastest after the morning session with a 103.06. She's going to try to beat up Susan Bex and take her off the top of the podium. Here comes Tatum Alkier now. Alkier into the final 4 gates. She'll be followed by Mayu Nakamura. And a good tuck and good speed here at the bottom of the run for Tatum Alkier. Wearing bib number 23, Alkier crossing the stripe in 105.17 for a combined time of 208.23. College of Idaho's Mayu Nakamura wearing bib 48. She was 21st fastest after run number 1 with a 102.95. Nakamura now into the center part of the course. Here comes Mayu Nakamura, the Yote from Caldwell.
Getting really low there in the flats. Incredible form there from Mayu Nakamura. Now going over that trouble section that's already claimed a couple racers today.
As you can see, it threw her into the back seat. That is a tough transition for these ladies here at the lower part of the course. Not to add to it that the fact that their legs are completely exhausted by this point in the run. Certainly a tricky run here on the Thunderbird Trail. Mayu Nakamura from College of Idaho crossing the stripe in a 103.47 with a combined time of 2:06.42. Good enough to slide her into second place. So Nakamura able to manage a great second run here. Still Susan Beck's atop your leaderboard from Rocky Mountain College, followed by Nakamura from College of Idaho and her teammate Eleanor Tansley in third place. Still the fastest 20 skiers to come. Catherine Leibowitz from Brown University now on course, wearing bib number 61. And it looks like Leibowitz.
She vanished, boss.
We don't know what happened to Leibowitz.
Looks like she had some trouble there right at that gate that's obscured by that USCSA banner. She is now off to skiers right of the course, I believe. We hope she's doing all right.
Indeed, that's going to be the end of the day for Catherine Leibowitz. She had a good run going. Tough break for her. Back to live action now from the University of British Columbia. It's Sandra Gerlich. Gerlich, 18th fastest after the morning session with a 102.59. Now Gerlich through the transition. Into the last 8 gates comes Sandra Gerlich from the University of British Columbia. UBC, the home of the Bisnair ski racing dynasty. Here is Sandra Gerlich from British Columbia, punching the stripe in 103.77 with a combined time of 2:06.36, good enough for second place. An amazingly fast run, we knew it, from Susan Bex from Rocky Mountain College. Laid it down early, still the lady to beat. But the fastest 18 skiers to come is Caroline Clayson from Sierra Nevada College, now on course. Wearing bib number 96, 18th fastest after run number 1 with a 102.59. Clean through the center part of the course. This is where the real athletes develop. The legs start to burn. Then it's all about who's got the most guts. Caroline Clayson has them. Here comes the Eagle from Incline Village. Caroline Clayson across the stripe with a 101.93. 2:04.52 is the combined time, good enough for second place. So it's Betts, Clayson, Gerlich, Nakamura, and Tansley in your top 5. Fast and Furious, the 17th fastest still to come. Natalie Kenny wearing bib 65 from St. Olaf College. She's on course. She'll be followed by Brown University's Ali Ganesh, who's just dropped in from the start shack. Now through the center part of the course into the lower third comes Natalie Kenny. Kenny from St. Olaf College driving through the last 7 gates. 3 gates to go for Natalie Kenny. St. Olaf College's Natalie Kenny into the finish corral with a time of 102.64 and a combined time of 2:05.11, good enough for third place. Susan Bex from Rocky Mountain with an early lightning fast run of 1:00.69, still atop your leaderboard. But then it's Caroline Clayson, Natalie Kenny, Sandra Gerlich, and Mayu Nakamura rounding out your top 5. Back to live action now, Ali Ganesh from Brown University, bib 44, 16th fastest after the first run with a 102.46. Skiing well through the center section, now over the transition, down the head wall into the final 8 gates. Here comes Ali Ganesh from Brown University. Ganesh trying to get as much speed as she can through this flatter bottom section. 3 gates to go for Ali Ganesh. And Ganesh successfully into the finish corral with a 103.95. Combined time of 2:06.41. Looks like, Alex, she had some trouble up high atop this Thunderbird Trail.
That's right, boss. Some pitchy course conditions up there. Maybe getting a little bit rutted out at the top, scraping off some of that top snow at the very top for some icy conditions. As anyone knows what to expect up there. Could be a wild ride for some of these athletes.
Meanwhile, Kara Vanderwaard from Clarkson University, 15th fastest after the morning at 102.40. She had to scrape a lot of speed through the center section, and you can tell it's hard to get it back here in the bottom 5 gates. She's trying. Kara Vanderwaard from Clarkson. And here comes Kara Vanderwaard from Clarkson across the stripe in 104.26 with a combined time of 2:06.66. Now on course, Rocky Mountain College's Malin Erickson wearing bib 56, 14th fastest after run 1 with a 1:02.28. Will she have enough to take her teammate Susan Bex off the top of the podium? We'll find out as she skis well through the center section now, carrying good speed over the transition. Had to scrape some speed there, and again, late onto the gate. That is a tough spot for these ladies, but it looks like that Malin Erickson has navigated successfully. Now trying to get back some speed, staying on edge, pointing towards the finish line, driving to the corral. It's Malin Erickson. And Erickson with a second run time of 1:02.02. And it's good enough for first place. 2:04.30 combined time for Malin Erickson from Rocky Mountain College, your new leader. Susan Bex, her teammate, was atop the leaderboard for a long time, coming out of the 27th position. But just got passed up by Malin Erickson, who is your new leader here. So it's Erickson, Bex, Clayson, Kenny, and Gerlich in your top 5. Now it's Camille Vierlode from Rocky Mountain College, 13th fastest. And Vierlode now trying to drive. She is wild child down here through the final 3 gates. Here comes Camille Vierlode from Rocky Mountain College across in 1:02.73. Combined time of 2:04.95, good enough for 4th place. So just as expected, Alex Beatty, Rocky Mountain and Sierra Nevada in the top 4 spots, battling it out. Back to live action. Kirsten Weiss, wearing bib 2 from Syracuse University on course. She was 12th fastest with a 1:02.18 in the morning session. Although we don't see her here on our screen, I wonder if something's happened high above this Thunderbird Trail. And it looks like it has. Oh, tough luck for Kirsten Weiss. Weiss is out of the race. It looks like she has crashed high above the mountain here. Will not come into our view, and that's going to be the end of the day for Kirsten Weiss. Tough break for her. Now Rocky Mountain College's Frederica Helm in the start shack awaiting run number 2. She wants to make it a Rocky Mountain College party across the top of the podium. Her teammates Malin Erickson currently in the lead, followed by Susan Bex, also from Rocky Mountain. Now on course, it's Frederica Helm from Rocky Mountain College. Should be coming into our picture momentarily as she is navigating the top 15 gates of this nasty run number 2. You know, as we said, Alex Beatty, it's a flat, not too turny course, but certainly the conditions have changed, and the pitches and the conversions on those pitches have been very difficult for these ladies. Meanwhile, Frederica Helm now making her way through the center section, skiing very, very well. Here is Frederica Helm, trying to stay on edge. You don't want to see the white smoke behind the skis. That means speed is being swept off. Here comes Frederica Helm, now trying to pick up more into the tuck. Over into the transition is Frederica Helm. Now Helm with 8 gates to go, but late. She was able to gather herself. Incredible core strength by Frederica Helm. As she makes her way into the final 4 gates, here comes Helm. Helm from Rocky Mountain College, driving to the finish. 2 gates to go, and now across the stripe with a time of 1:01.28 and a combined time of 2:03.37. Your new leader, Frederica Helm, atop your leaderboard from Rocky Mountain College. She looked fast, Alex Beatty, coming out of the center section. You could tell she had some speed over that transition.
That's right, boss. That's why they practiced that technique. Crucial there in that center part. She carried a lot of speed into the bottom and critically didn't lose control there as it transitioned to the steeps.
Now it's McKenna McNabb from St. Olaf College, wearing bib 39, 10th fastest after the morning session with a 1:02.00. As she makes her way into the final 4 gates, she's got a good run going. Let's see if it's enough to get on the podium. Here comes McKenna McNabb, punching the finish line with a time of 1:02.57 and a combined time of 2:04.57.
As the smoke clears on McKenna McNabb, we see she ripped a gate out of the course. Just a testament to how fast she was carrying herself there, boss.
That's good enough for 5th position. Still the fastest 9 to come, including Gabby Ginshef from St. Olaf. Bib 16, 9th fastest after the morning run with a 1:01.85. And she looked strong through the center section. Now making it over the head wall, into the transition, into the final gates. 8 to go for Gabby Ginshef. St. Olaf College's Gabby Ginshef now into her final tuck with 4 gates to go. Driving to the finish line comes Gabby Ginshef. Here comes Ginshef. And across the stripe with a time of 1:03.10 and a 2:04.95 combined time, good enough for 6th. So it's still Fredrika Helm from Rocky Mountain College atop your leaderboard. She's followed by teammate Malin Erickson and another teammate Susan Bex. It's a Rocky Mountain College party on the podium right now. Caroline Clayson from Sierra Nevada in 4th. And rounding out your top 5 from St. Olaf, it's McKenna McNabb. Still the fastest 8 to come, including Sydney Sulte, who threw down an incredibly fast run 1 earlier this morning here at Mount Bachelor from the Air Force Academy. Flying high out of Colorado Springs. She did exactly that here in run number 1. She's being held at the top of the course while they continue to scrape some of the snow off this run. It is getting to be a wild ride on this Thunderbird Trail. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the women's giant slalom here from Mount Bachelor, all part of the USCSA Broadcast Network week-long coverage from all 3 of our competition venues, Alpine, Nordic, and Snowboard Freestyle. And an absolutely glorious Tuesday afternoon here in the Central Cascade region of Oregon. Blue skies, gorgeous snow conditions, and a great day for a ski race. Not to mention the fastest ladies in collegiate ski racing joining us here to put on the show. Still the fastest 8 to come. Sydney Sulte, Emily Lamoureux, Francesca Curtola, Melissa Daniels, Johanna Tikkanen, Caroline Gustafsson, Frida Svedberg, and Natalie Pearl still left to come down anybody's race this afternoon.
So far, it's been the Rocky Mountain College show, boss, as you say, occupying the top 3 spots. Of course, the fastest 4 skiers from Sierra Nevada still yet to come down, so really anyone's race here. And then our fastest racer, Natalie Pearl from Brown University. Brown struggling in this second run today. So Natalie Pearl skiing for that individual glory. She is going to let it all hang out here in that second run. She wants that top spot on the podium, and I would not get in her way if I were you, boss.
It is going to be a battle here. Frida Svedberg's not going to give it away. Natalie Pearl wants a national championship, and Frida Svedberg wants to stop it. And while their 2 are battling it out, you know, Johanna Tikkanen, Caroline Gustafsson, Melissa Daniels, Francesca Curtolo, anybody can sneak in the back door here. As we are still on course hold from the top. Tough break for Sydney Sulte as she was in the box ready to go, and then they're starting to scrape snow, so they are holding her at the top. What goes through your mind when you're held? You know that you've got a chance at winning this thing, and then all of a sudden you're ready to go. You've got your blood pressure at 250 over 170, and then they stop you.
That's right, boss. There's nothing like being iced in the start house. All the fears and emotions that have been building up throughout the day, they just kind of break out a little bit. You've been stuffing them down away, you know, trying not to let them affect you, but being stuck up there in the cold and watching the course unfold ahead of you, there's nothing like it, boss.
We're back to live action now. Sydney Sulte from the Air Force Academy coming through the middle section here. She's making her way through the second half of the run now. Here is Sydney Sulte from the Air Force Academy. Skiing well here through the center section. Looks like she had to scrape some time at the top. We'll have to see. No intermediate split shack time available for us here on our timing system, so we don't know how they're doing as they come down time-wise. But skiing well here into the final 6 gates. Flying high from the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, it's Sydney Sulte. And Sydney Sulte successfully across the stripe with a time of 103.00 and a combined time of 204.83, good enough for 6th place. Now back to live action high atop the Thunderbird Trail, wearing bib 68, 7th fastest after the morning session. It's Emily Lamoureux from Sierra Nevada College. Now comes the competition against Helm, Erickson, and Bex. Lamoureux wants to get atop this leaderboard and replace the Rocky Mountain Party with the Sierra Nevada Party. Here comes Emily Lamoureux, now down into the lower third in the final 8 gates. Emily Lamoureux driving, trying to stay on edge. As the legs begin to burn, here comes Emily Lamoureux, the Sierra Nevada Eagle from Incline Village. Into the tuck and across the stripe, it's Lamoureux in a time of 101.81 and a combined time of 203.00. Good enough for first place. Emily Lamoureux, now your new leader, atop the leaderboard, pushing the Rocky Mountain Party down a slot. It's Lamoureux, Helm, Erickson, Bex, and Clayson in your top 5. Still the fastest 6 to come. Sierra Nevada College's Francesca Curtolo now on course. A 1:00.56 in the morning session. She is skiing well now, like a tremendous machine through the transition. 8 gates to go for Francesca Curtolo. Bib number 59. She wants to make it a Sierra Nevada party here on the podium. And now into her tuck in the final 2 gates. Here comes Francesca Curtolo. Got it up for the lead. 2:01.39. Curtolo, your new leader here in the women's giant slalom. What an incredible run from Francesca Curtolo. Now Melissa Daniels, her teammate on track. 32 is her bib number, 5th fastest after the morning run at a 59.79. Here comes the speed from Melissa Daniels into the center section. She's got to stay on the front of the skis. You cannot get in the back seat here in this section. Now let's see how she does with the transition. And she handles it well. She's well ahead of the gate. She's going to have good speed here at the bottom. It's Melissa Daniels. Sierra Nevada College's Melissa Daniels driving to the finish line. 2 gates to go for Daniels. Now Daniels punching the stripe. Will it be enough? No. Second place, 2:02.43. Francesca Curtolo, still your leader, but they have changed the Rocky Mountain Party to a Sierra Nevada College Party. Francesca Curtolo, your leader. Teammate Melissa Daniels in second, and another teammate, Emily Lamoureux, in third. So it is an Incline Village party here atop the podium, but still the 4 fastest to come, including Johanna Tikkanen wearing bib number 3. Now Tikkanen with a 59.76 in the first run. Tikkanen should be coming into our view momentarily. And here she comes, high atop the head wall. And skiing well. Look at the speed from Johanna Tikkanen. Tikkanen making time through the center section here of the run. Johanna Tikkanen with a 59.76, 4th fastest after run number 1. She wants to push her teammate Francesca Curtolo down a slot. Skiing well now, letting the edges do the work, trying to stay over the top as the legs begin to burn. She makes her way through the transition out of the center into the lower third. Now 8 gates to go for Johanna Tikkanen. Tikkanen now driving towards the finish line. 6 gates to go for Tikkanen. She wants to be atop the podium. Will it be enough as she makes her way to the second and the last gate? And under the stripe, it's Tikkanen, and she's your new leader with a 2:00.46. Johanna Tikkanen with a lightning fast 1:00.70 in the second run. So it's still an Eagles party on the podium. Johanna Tikkanen, your leader. Teammates Francesca Curtolo, Melissa Daniels, and Emily Lamoureux. The top 4 slots belonging to the Eagles. Still the fastest 3 to come, including newcomer from the College of Idaho, Caroline Sandin Gustafson. She's on course now, wearing bib number 13, moving like a fast machine in the center section. Caroline Sandin Gustafson, her first year in Caldwell for the Yotes, coached by Ron Bonneau. Will it be enough to take over Johanna Tikkanen? It is anybody's race, ladies and gentlemen, and way in the back seat. Gustafson has scraped an enormous amount of speed. It's going to take everything she has to get it going again. A tough break for Gustafson right in the middle of the course, Alex Beatty. She just got behind, got in the back seat, was unable to get around, and it cost her a lot of speed. And she makes her way now into the 5, and that's it. That's the end of the day for Gustafson. She missed a gate. She missed a gate low here at the bottom, and that's going to be the end of the day for Caroline Gustafson. What a tragedy for the College of Idaho Yotes.
That's right, boss. College of Idaho had been looking so strong today with their newcomer and ferocious skier in her own right, Caroline Sandin Gustafson. She struggled there in the giant slalom, but she'll be back on Thursday for the slalom, of course, a technical specialist. She has been dominant in that event all year, and we are looking forward to seeing her. But a tough break there today in the GS.
Now on course, wearing bib number 19, the defending national champion in the women's giant slalom from Rocky Mountain College. Here comes Frida Svedberg. Frida Svedberg wants to take it once and for all. She's had enough of this second place run 1 stump. She wants to be atop the leaderboard. And here comes Frida Svedberg safely through the center section, across the transition, now into the bottom third. 8 gates to go for Svedberg. Skiing well now across the last 5 gates comes Svedberg. Will it be enough to take over Johanna Tikkanen? Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College punching the stripe, and Frida Svedberg, your new leader, with the fastest time of the second run, 58.90, a combined time of 158.25. Frida Svedberg did it. She really went fast in the lower part of the course, Alex Beatty.
That's right, boss. You could tell she was not going to play second fiddle to Natalie Pearl. No way. But, of course, that has not been decided yet. Still our fastest racer, Brown University's Natalie Pearl. She is now on course, boss.
Natalie Pearl now driving in the top part of the course. Now she's making her way back to the center section. Natalie Pearl, the fastest qualifier of the morning session. She has got to ski like a machine to get past Svedberg. Here comes Natalie Pearl from Brown University. Skiing through the center section, it's Natalie Pearl. Natalie Pearl now making her way into the lower third. Will she be able to navigate successfully this transition? Here she comes into the lower 8 gates. And Natalie Pearl now driving to the finish line. Oh, she's late and she's down. Natalie Pearl is down. Natalie Pearl is down on the snow. She's hit a gate and she's out of the race. She's lost a ski. That's going to do it. Frida Svedberg coming from the second position. She is going to take home a national championship. Frida Svedberg, the defending national champion, as Natalie Pearl skiing everything she had. She gave it every single thing she had, Alex Beatty. Unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. She was really skiing quickly. And then with 5 gates to go, Natalie Pearl hooks a tip on a gate, and that's the end of her day. Frida Svedberg, your 2015 USCSA Women's National Champion. Unbelievable.
Oh, the humanity, boss, as Natalie Pearl goes down at the 11th hour. So close there to that finish line. But the day belongs to Frida Svedberg, who yells out triumphantly, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair." Your giant slalom national champion is Frida Svedberg.
You know, we talked about it earlier on in the week, Alex Beatty, that Frida Svedberg was the one to beat. And then this morning, Natalie Pearl from Brown University did exactly that. The unbelievable. She came, she saw, she conquered, and she won run number 1. But then pushing as hard as she possibly could. And I'll tell you, you've got to give it up for Natalie Pearl for trying so hard to win this race. A tough break with 5 gates to go, but all of the congratulations and glory goes to Frida Svedberg, the superstar from Rocky Mountain College, your 2015 Women's GS National Champion.
So it's Rocky Mountain and Sierra Nevada right now standing atop the podium. Still too close to call. We'll have to crunch those numbers for the team competition. I'm sure we'll get them to you sometime this afternoon. But it's the Rocky Mountain College and Sierra Nevada College show here with all 7 of the racers, the top 7 racers belonging to one or two of to either of those schools, excuse me. And just the rivalry continues, boss. It's been incredible to watch all these years.
Yeah, we see Frida Svedberg being congratulated by her teammates down here. Hugs and kisses for Svedberg. Frida, turn around and wave to our camera so we can see you. We want to see that beautiful face of the national champion here. Frida Svedberg from Rocky. There she is. Frida Svedberg, your 2015 national champion. Congratulations to her. We'll get back to live action here on the Thunderbird Trail. Our next racer from the University of California at Berkeley, Daisy Shadlich, qualified 31st fastest after run number 1, but exciting ladies action here in the second run of the GS. Tough break for Natalie Pearl. Can't say enough about her performance today. And when you crash with 5 gates to go, Alex, that means you wanted it. You wanted it badly.
Absolutely, boss. You know, she came out here and knew exactly what she needed to do. It takes a lot to take down a national champion, and she really put all her chips on the table, let it all hang out, skied as fast as humanly possible. But it just wasn't enough to keep control there into that bottom part of the course, and that'll do it for Natalie Pearl of Brown University.
But the day belongs to Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College, coached by Coach Jerry Wolf. An impressive victory. Defending national champion comes back and doubles it up. What a career of ski racing this young lady has at Rocky Mountain College. Now back to live action. Wearing bib number 20 from the University of California in Berkeley, it is Daisy Shadlich on course. She'll be followed by St. Anselm's Lika Scott. Of course, Lika Scott with the Sugarloaf connection here. Boss Hogg, of course, with his own Sugarloaf connection. Always nice to see Lika on the ski hill out of Carabasset Valley Academy. She's wearing bib number 17, St. Anselm's College, Lika Scott. That was Daisy Shadlich, now crossing the stripe in a 105.48 with a combined time of 209.68. Now back to live action in the center of the course. It's Lika Scott. Lika had a good run earlier this morning with a 104.28. I got to see her mom during the break. She came in and said hello. And here comes Lika Scott, making her way through the transition into the lower third. 8 gates to go for Lika Scott.
Skiing well here, boss, as she navigates these final few turns. She really handled that pitch transition there well and is now making her way towards the finish line. St. Anselm's College's Lika Scott, bib number 27, finishes with a combined time of 2:11.05. Now it's Morgan Duffy from the University of Washington, wearing bib number 9, making her way down towards the bottom section of this course. Skiing well here, Morgan Duffy, the senior hacky sack major from Snohomish, Washington. Placed 4th in the skier cross. Last year, a lot of these athletes competing both in the Alpine events and in the skier cross events, and that's bib number 9, Morgan Duffy from the University of Washington, finishing with a time of 2:10.55, good enough for 27th place.
Now on course from Castleton College, it's Blair Hooper wearing bib number 41. She was 34th fastest after run 1 with a 104.38. Good navigation through the center section of this run. Now over the head wall, through the transition. A little bit in the back seat, but now collected herself. Skiing well here into the final 4 gates from Castleton College. It's Blair Hooper. Now Hooper into her tuck. And across the line in a time of 105.21. Combined time of 209.59.
You can see just the exhaustion on these athletes. It's written on their faces. A long course here, very technical in the center section, and the legs are just exhausted here as they make their way safely across the finish line.
Now it's Hobart William Smith College's Christine Maloney wearing bib 38. She was 35th fastest after run 1 with a 104.42. She had a good top section here and safely through the center. Now into the final 6 gates comes Christine Maloney. Hobart William Smith always fielding a competitive Alpine women's and men's team. Nice to see them here and competitive this year as well. And Christine Maloney from Hobart William Smith College across the stripe with a time of 107.12 and a combined time of 211.54.
Now, boss, I got word from Hobart and William Smith. They're missing a bright pink jacket. I've heard it's horrendously pink, and I'm sure there's no reason anyone would have wanted to take it. It looks so terrible.
Well,
but they're missing it, and if you have seen a pink jacket, please contact a member of the Hobart and William Smith team or bring it in here to announcing.
Now back to live action here into the final 4 gates. Comes Taylor Kudea from St. Anselm's College. Kudea into the last gate and across the stripe. It's Taylor Kudea. St. Anselm's wearing bib number 49. She was 28th fastest. Check that, 36th fastest after the first run. Moved herself up into 28th position in the second run with a combined time of 2:10.12. So a good second run for Taylor Kudea. We'll see more from her out of St. Anselm's.
And a strong showing from that St. Anselm's team, boss. Long rumored to be the best-looking team on the mountain. I'll do some intense and intrepid reporting on that tonight, and I'll crunch those numbers and get them into you as soon as possible.
Looking forward to that report from Alex Beatty tomorrow. Meanwhile, back to live action here at beautiful Mount Bachelor on a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hagen, Alex Beatty with you on the call. Gabriella Sorg from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities Now across the stripe in 108.57 with a combined time of 213.57. So a good run for Gabriella Soar. Now it's Nika Mosenthal, the younger sister of Kai Mosenthal, defending national championship 3 years ago in Sunday River. A fantastic skier, Nika following right in the Mosenthal footsteps from Brown. She was 38th fastest with a 105.09 in the morning sesh. Now into the final 6 gates comes Mosenthal.
Saw her struggle there a little bit, boss, on that transition to the steep part of this course. You saw the legs kind of diverging a little bit, not staying parallel. It's not really what you want to see here, but she finishes strong. Nika Mosenthal, another great outing at USCSA Nationals.
Kelly Rowland now on course from Clarkson University. Of course, Alex Beatty knowing all about this Kelly Rowland.
Of course, boss, Kelly Rowland having some skiing dilemmas here on the course, but doing well now. She's back in it. Of course, no matter what I do, all I ever think about is Kelly Rowland. Even when I'm with my boo, girl, you know I'm crazy over you. Clarkson University's Kelly Rowland, bib number 57, finishes with a combined time of 210.67.
Were those the lyrics of a Nelly song?
You know, boss, we work with what we've got here at the USCSA, and proud to see Kelly Rowland back at another fine national championships, boss.
Indeed. Congratulations to Kelly. A great second run. Combined time of 2:10.67. Now back to live action here from Cornell University. It's Catherine Grace Norris on course wearing bib 77, the lucky double sevens. And yet we do not see her coming across the top. It looks like she skied out. Yes, she has, and that's going to be the end of the day for Catherine Grace Norris from Cornell. A tough break for her. She had a good first run with a 105.23. Always want to try to make that final order sheet from the national championships. But these girls, of course, going for it in run number 2. They want to move up the ladder as best they can. But the day, of course, belongs to Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College, laying down the second fastest time in the first run with a 59.35. Natalie Pearl coming in with the fastest time in the morning session, certainly the one to beat. Svedberg in an uncomfortable second-place position after the morning run. But she kept it together. She skied clean, and that's part of ski racing. It takes 2 runs to win, not 1. And Svedberg did it again. Defending national champion from last year in Lake Placid, New York. She does it again here at Mount Bachelor. And hats off to Rocky Mountain College's Frida Svedberg, your 2015 national champion here in the women's GS.
Well, boss, you know, consistency is king in ski racing. Doesn't matter how fast you can get down if you can't lay down 2 consistent runs. All important. I've seen so many racers blow up in their first or second run. They very fast, but just can't keep it together, and that's very important. The technique is just so critical here, and that's what wins these national championships.
Now back to live action. Erica Engstrad from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Successfully navigating the center part of the course into the lower third now. 7 gates to go for Erica Engstrad. Engstrad from Wisconsin-Madison. Boy, have they had some cold temperatures. It has just been brutal being an alpine ski racer in Wisconsin this year. Anywhere along the Midwest or the Northeast, just brutally cold temperatures. While we beg for snow and colder temperatures out here in the West, they got plenty of it out back east and Midwest. Erica Engstrand across the stripe with a combined time of 2:12.61. Hats off to Engstrand from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, the home of the Onion. Now back to live action into the center section. It's Castleton College's Rebecca Stodgel. She'll be followed by Syracuse's Jocelyn Whirl. And at the start jack from the University of Colorado, Daniela Hemsley. And a tough wild ride here. Looks like she was able to gather it with 5 gates to go. She was on a wild ride, just about to ski out the same place where Natalie Pearl skied out. So obviously a tough transition right there, Alex, but she's able to bring it back together, not carrying as much speed, obviously, as Pearl was. So a little easier to recover with that core string. 2:12.08, her final combined time.
Just a testament to her ability there, boss, her athleticism. She kept it together. Of course, these Castleton State College athletes start practice every morning at 3 a.m. They're on the hill. They bring their own lights and equipment and run gates for about 12 hours until the afternoon, where they go in for their only meal of the day, and then they get some well-deserved rest, back it up, and do it all again the next day, boss.
That's college ski racing, Alex Beatty. Meanwhile, back to live action. Syracuse's Jocelyn Worley now across the stripe with a 107.32 and a combined time of 212.70. Daniela Hemsley from the University of Colorado now on course. She'll be followed by Clarkson's Casey Abraham. Great run here for Jocelyn Worley from Syracuse University. The Orangemen well represented. I guess they're the Orange women in the girls' events, right?
I guess so,
okay.
boss.
All right. Out of the middle third, now into the lower third. 8 gates to go for Daniela Hemsley. Hemsley skiing well towards the finish line. 3 gates to go for the University of Colorado's Daniela Hemsley. And Hemsley into the finish corral with a combined time of 2:11.79. It's good enough for 33rd position.
Now it's Clarkson's Casey Abraham skiing for the green and yellow Clarkson Knights, coached by Skip Fox. Clarkson always a force to be reckoned with on and off the hill. An intimidating presence in any ski race, and Casey Abraham is no exception. Kudos to her for spelling out how to correctly pronounce Abraham in her bio. Glad I got that right. She makes her way down into the bottom section of the course. 2 gates to go. It's Casey Abraham of Clarkson University, bib number 66. Finishes with a combined time of 2:12.48, good enough for 35th place.
Now on course, wearing bib number 1, our first racer of the day earlier this morning as we got started with run number 1 from Stanford University. It's Jamie Anderson. Anderson with a good top section now through the middle part of the course. And this right here, the tricky conversion down to the lower third. There is a transition that a lot of these ladies have had a tough time with. She had to scrape some speed herself to get through. Now into the last 4 gates, it's Jamie Anderson, bib number 1 from Stanford University. 46th fastest after the morning session with a 105.68. And into the corral with a combined time of 2:15.21. That's good enough for 40th position. Let's run down your top 5. Frida Svedberg, your national champion from Rocky Mountain College. She's followed by Sierra Nevada College's Johanna Tikkanen. Her teammate Francesca Curtolo in 3rd. Another Sierra Nevada Eagle, Melissa Daniels in 4th. Another Sierra Nevada Eagle in 5th. That's Emily Lamoureux. Then it's the Rocky Mountain Party continuing with Frederica Helm in 6th and Malin Erickson in 7th. Jamie Anderson from Stanford. She is through. Meg Del Cole from Lafayette College. Now skiing across the stripe with a combined time of 2:15.44. And on course, wearing bib 62 from Hobart William Smith College, it's Jessica Bishop.
Meg Del Cole, the senior from Lafayette, majoring in interpretive dance from Darien, Connecticut, home of the world's most visited McDonald's and home to USCSA alumnus and professional Jeff Goldblum impersonator Timothy Nelson. A legend in his own right. Now it's Jessica Bishop of Hobart and William Smith, bib number 62, having a lightning fast second run here, taking an aggressive line into these final few turns. She successfully navigates them and crosses the finish line with an impressive tuck. That's bib number 62. Jessica Bishop will finish with a combined time of 2:13.95, good enough for 40th place.
Now back to live action in the center part of the course. 49th fastest after the morning session, Brenna Murray wearing bib number 12 from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. She'll be followed by St. Anselm's College's Allery Lever. Now into the final 8 gates comes Brenna Murray.
Like she had a little bit of trouble there, had to scrape some speed about 8 gates from the bottom, but she is back on course and carving well now into these final few turns, so she really kept it together there, boss, and she'll get a time for this second run.
Indeed, 2:14.73. That's a combined time for Brenna Murray from Wisconsin-Madison. Now Allery Lever from St. Anselm's College, wearing bib number 69, 50th fastest after the morning session. And she'll be followed by Clarkson University's Sonia Gagan. Gagan from Clarkson University now on course and awaiting her second run at the start jack from Northern Michigan University is Mallory Slicker. Now back to live action here. Here comes Allery Lever from St. Anselm's. Lever into the tuck, a gate to go, and across safely into the corral is Allery Lever. With a combined time of 2:17.69, good enough for 44th place. Look, it's all smiles from Allery Lever right there.
Allery Lever, the junior Flip Cup major from St. Anselm, finishing strong with that second run. We'll see her back in the slalom on Thursday. Mark your calendars. Should be an exciting slalom race. These athletes looking to let it all hang out. Slalom's their bread and butter, and I'm looking forward to it myself, boss.
As am I. Clarkson, Sonia Gagan now. Into the final three gates comes Gagan. Gagan was 51st fastest after the morning session. She comes in with a combined time of 2:13.23, and that's going to give her 39th fastest. So moving right up is Sonia Gagan from Clarkson. Good run for her, second run. 51st fastest after the first run, 36th fastest after the second run, and 39th fastest in the combined. So a good performance from Clarkson, Sonia Gagan. Now we are into Mallory Slicker coming down into the final five gates from Northern Michigan University. You talk about cold this winter. Go visit Northern Michigan University and see if you like that. I will just instead say she is from Northern Michigan University and leave it right at that. That's Mallory Slicker from NMU, ladies and gentlemen, with a combined time of 2:13.81. All fun and smiles here in the afternoon session for these ladies on this Women's GS. Glad you're with us on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hogg alongside Alex Beatty, bringing you the call from the broadcast shack. Megan Shenton now from Hobart William Smith. She'll be followed by her teammate Haley Quigg. They're both on course. 5 gates to go now for Megan Shenton. And now Shenton with 2 gates to go and into the finish corral, punching the stripe in a combined time of 2:13.76. So it's fun to watch these girls improve in the second run, Alex Beatty. Megan Shenton from Hobart William Smith, she was 53rd fastest after the morning session, moved all the way up to 41st fastest after the afternoon session. So a good second run for Shenton.
Well, boss, she's got the moves. I saw how low she was getting in that center section of the course. She didn't think anyone was watching, but of course we are all watching, everyone around the world here watching these athletes. And Megan Shenton of Hobart and William Smith with an impressive second run. Now her teammate Haley Quigg, also of Hobart and William Smith, wearing bib number 15, looking to surpass her. We'll see. She's having a lightning fast second run here. The crowd looks strangely sedated in the presence of such history-making champions. I guess they need blood spattered on their faces as bib number 15, Haley Quigg, crosses the finish line with a combined time of 2:14.66.
Now wearing bib number 7 on course from Castleton College, it's Simona Crocolo. Crocolo, this is not her first rodeo at the national championship. She's been here before. Skiing well now through the center section, over the transition, successfully navigating the transition, but again, having to scrape a lot of speed coming from the red gate to the blue gate. It's a hard right boot turn, and it's obviously on a little bit of a side pitch, Alex, which has caused all kinds of problems. In fact, if you take a look back at Natalie Pearl's run, you'll see that that's where it got started. She didn't crash until 2 gates later, but she got so far behind on that transition, it was hard for her to recover. Meanwhile, Simona Crocolo from Castleton across in 2:14.84. Good enough for 46 slide. Kelsey Sievert now from University of Minnesota Twin Cities wearing bib 53. She's on course. Here comes Kelsey Sievert, 56 fastest after the morning session. And she'll be followed by favorite Heather Durr from Penn State University, the Nittany Lion, coming up next. 5 gates to go for Kelsey Sievert from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities.
And now we see Heather Durr from Penn State University.
That was Kelsey Sievert, bib number 53, crossing the finish line with a time of 2:13.75. Now it's Penn State's Heather Durr, the Nittany Lion, battling back from injury to be here at these national championships. Skiing well in this second run, navigating the turns with the finesse of a champion, driving down towards this bottom section of the course.
Indeed, that is Heather Durr from Penn State University, the Nittany Lion, making her way into the bottom 4 gates now. Having a little camera difficulty here on our bottom camera. We'll get that back up momentarily. Meanwhile, let's give you the audio call as Heather Durr from Penn State University now across the stripe successfully. Into the finish corral is Heather Durr. Always great to see Heather Durr from Penn State University with a combined time of 2:15.60. Now back to live action. Midway up the course, it's Amanda Engelhardt wearing bib 75 from Brown University. She was 58th fastest after the morning session with a 106.23. She tied Syracuse's Kelsey Dignas, who is now on course as well. And we will see Amanda Engelhardt from Brown University coming through the finish corral shortly. 2 gates to go for Engelhardt. And now Engelhardt across the stripe successfully in a combined time of 2:12.48. Still trying to get some bottom camera difficulties worked out. We'll be back with you as soon as possible. Meanwhile, now, mid-course, it is bib number 50, Kelsey Dignas from Syracuse University. 58th fastest after the morning session with a 106.23. She'll be followed by Gabby Slavny from, I'll have to check SBU. St. Bonaventure, that's what it is. All right, now we're back to action here. Kelsey Dignas from Syracuse University.
You can see her screaming towards the finish line. Syracuse's Kelsey Dignas, that's bib number 50, crossing the finish line with a time of 2:14.63. Of course, Syracuse, like much of the Northeast, has been pounded by snow, and you could see that these teams, these Eastern Conference teams, have been skiing so well today. You have to wonder if it's just all the training they've been getting to have on real powder, none of that fake stuff that they make at those East Coast ski mountains. They've been skiing so well, and we're looking forward to seeing them continue to do that all week, boss.
3 gates to go here for Gabby Slavny from St. Bonaventure. Slavny in her tuck and across into the corral with a combined time of 2:16.26. So a good second run for Gabby Slavny. Next up, Cornell University's Abby Brown. She'll be followed by her teammate Megan Joyce. Here's Abby Brown from Cornell. Great to see the Cornell team here this year.
Now, boss, I talked to Abby Brown and the rest of the Big Red Cornell team. They said they were a little bit disappointed with their performance in the first run today, but they were all the more motivated to ski better this afternoon, and they have been. Impressive turns here by Abby Brown of Cornell, bib number 58, crossing the finish line with a time of 2:14.50.
Of course, Cornell, the home of the Dingle Cam. You remember the Dingle Cam, don't you?
I remember the Dingle Cam, and I remember Boss Hogg talking about the Dingle Cam at any opportunity.
Yes, well, that was the opportunity. It just presented itself once again, did it not? I hope the inventor, Jeff Dingle of the Dingle Cam, is listening to our broadcast here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hogg and Alex Beatty bringing it to you from the broadcast shack here high atop the Thunderbird Trail at beautiful Mount Bachelor in Central Oregon, the volcano of the fiery Cascade region. Megan Joyce from Cornell now across the stripe with a combined time of 2:17.45. She'll be followed by Lafayette College's Olivia Erdman.
Megan Joyce, the junior from Cornell. She's a Capricorn, likes pistachio ice cream, majoring in astrology, and is thrilled to be here at Mount Bachelor for her first national championships.
It's Olivia Erdman wearing bib 31 from Lafayette College. 106.86 in the first run, 63rd fastest. We'll see if she can move up.
Taking a conservative line is Olivia Erdman of Lafayette. But she will cross the stripe. That's bib number 31. Olivia Erdman finishing with a time of 2:17.85. Now it's Syracuse's Jessica McNeil wearing bib number 97 on course.
Jessica McNeil now coming out of the center section into the lower third. She'll make her way over the head wall now here into the transition. A tricky transition all morning long for these ladies. And she navigates it successfully. 7 gates to go for Jessica McNeil from Syracuse University. Stanford University's Allison Lindsay also on course. And into the final tuck and across the stripe, it's Jessica McNeil from Syracuse University in bib number 97. Good second run for McNeil. She's got the leopard neck warmer on. Always a fashion statement from our friends at Syracuse.
That's right, Jessica McNeil, the true freshman from Syracuse, grew up in Rutland, Vermont, not too far away from White River Junction, Vermont, the site of many a ski race lodging arrangement for the USCSA Thompson Division.
Yes.
Claiming many ski race teams and resulting in disqualifications and suspensions almost every year. No team is safe. I urge any ski team skiing in that area, do not stay in White River Junction. Nothing good can come of it, boss.
No, absolutely, Alex. Back to live action. Stanford's Allison Lindsay crossing the stripe with a combined time of 2:18.65. Good run for Lindsay. Now to Hannah Bowman from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Bowman skiing well through the center section. She'll be followed by the University of Nevada at Reno's Alicia Gant and Robin Durr from Penn State University. Heather's younger sister is in the start shack awaiting her second run here at this 2015 National Championship Women's GS. Of course, the day belonging to Frida Svedberg. Meanwhile, across the stripe, it is Hannah Bowman from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Alex, Hannah Bowman is not afraid of cold weather. There's no doubt. If you are from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, you are freezing cold this winter. And that's why Hannah is happy with a big smile on her face. Congratulations to her. Good second run. Yeah. Alicia Gant from Nevada Reno now on course through the center section now. Making good edges. As you can see, Alex, it has gotten extremely rutted up there in the middle part of this run.
That's right, boss. You can see the legs chattering here as she handles that well. Got a little bit late there into that bottom section that's claimed so many athletes from the top racers down. That is bib number 14, Alicia Gant of University of Nevada, Reno. She will cross the finish line with a combined time of 2:19.85.
Good job for Alicia Gant from Nevada, Reno.
Alicia Gant, the freshman, the true freshman from Nevada, Reno, grew up shredding the gnar at Squaw. Of course, she has earned some gnar points today. You have to believe it. And she'll be able to cash those in tonight at the USCSA athlete reception. But it looks like losing some gnar points is Robin Durr of Penn State. The Nittany Lion has skied out, boss, and you hate to see that. A tough break there.
It is indeed a tough break for Robin Durr. Heather, her sister, having a good run earlier on today, but that's going to be the end of the day for Robin. But we will see more of Robin Durr, I know. That is not the last time we have seen her at a national championship. Madison McInnes from the University of Washington, bib 45 on course now, making her way through the center section. She'll be followed by the University of Wisconsin at Madison's Megan McMahon and Caroline Loy from Cornell in the start shack wearing bib 85 awaiting her second run. Now 8 gates to go for Madison McInnes. McInnes, the pride of the University of Washington.
That's McInnes, the senior, also from Squaw Valley, majoring in tequila at the University of Washington. She'll punch the stripe, bib number 45, with a combined time of 2:19.69. You can see the exhaustion, the relief written on her face as she has successfully completed 2 runs of ski racing, a feat not many can boast. Of course, I myself have never completed 2 runs simultaneously
of course not.
in the same day. It I thought it couldn't be done, and then I came to these national championships, saw the best of the best. Oh, and having some trouble there is bib number 80, Megan McMahon from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Got a little bit too late there on that same section, that trouble section that has really put a dent in the roster today, as so many athletes skiing out there. And that is the end of Megan McMahon's day.
Caroline Loy wearing bib 85 from Cornell University now on course. And
Looks
it looks like
she's
Loy has
down.
fallen. Yes, she has fallen down halfway up. Now let's see if she's going to get up and try to cut a gate. No, that's going to be the end of the day. Looks like she's off her skis.
I think she's lost some equipment there, a yard sale. That's minus 2,000 NAR points for Caroline Loy. We'll see her in the slalom, where she hopes to redeem herself. Slalom, of course, the more technical of these two events. GS, our speed event, though, at the Olympics and at higher levels, the GS considered a faster technical event, with the Super G and downhill events being the two speed events. Of course, the insurance waiver for those speed events, over 300 pages, too unwieldy for the USCSA management team. Of course, they've been doing a stellar job all week just to put on this incredible performance. 3 disciplines, 480 hours of broadcast coverage. It should be a fantastic week, boss, and it has been great to get underway today.
Indeed it has, and we couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day. Take a look at bluebird skies, sunny, not a cloud to be seen, no wind, warm temperatures. This is exactly what we ordered up for our 2015 Nationals. Glad you could join us on the Broadcast Network. Boss Hogg and Alex Beatty with you on the call today and every day here from the Alpine venue. Of course, down at Snowboard, Brad J. and Mark Oliver, they had the rail jam today, still going on. You can check that out on Channel 2. And earlier this morning, Jason Albert and Bert Hinckley bringing you the call for the men's and women's 7.5-kilometer classic. Exciting competition down there at the Nordic venue. Back to live action here at Alpine. Connor Clemens from Hobart Williams Smith on course. 3 gates to go for Clemens. She'll be followed by St. Anselm's Emily Mason. 2 gates to go for Clemens. And Clemens punching the stripe in a 2:20.53. Emily Mason now wearing bib number 98. She'll be followed by Rachel Urban from the University of Washington. And there is Connor Clemens. Now back to live action midway up the Thunderbird Trail. Emily Mason from St. Anselm's wearing bib 98, 73rd fastest after the morning session, the 109.80. She'll be followed by Rachel Urban from the University of Washington, who has now dropped in. And next at the start shack for run 2, Sydney Burton from Lafayette College.
Emily Mason navigating these final few gates very well. You can see she's got that compass on board, knows exactly the right line to take into that bottom section, and she's rewarded with a stellar combined time of 2:20.91. Now it's Rachel Urban from the University of Washington on course, struggling a little bit here in this flat section, about halfway through this course as she comes into view now. Struggling just to keep those skis on edge and not skid out here as she dives into an athletic tuck now towards the bottom of the course. Almost loses it there, riding on one ski, but she is back in it now and skiing well, boss, into these final few gates. That is bib number 55, Rachel Urban of the University of Washington. She will finish with a combined time of 2:21.98.
Great run for Rachel Urban from the University of Washington. She'll be back 2 days from now for the women's slalom. Meanwhile, to live action, Lafayette College's Sydney Burton on course, making her way through the center section now. She'll be followed by Elise Luce from Castleton College and the Air Force Academy's Caitlin Sullivan in the box, waiting to drop in for run number 2. 5 gates to go here for Sydney Burton.
That's bib number 52, Sydney Burton of Lafayette College. She will cross the finish line with a combined time of 2:21.73. Now it's Castleton State College's Elise Luce. Bib number 90 looks like she has skied out a rough day for Castleton. They have struggled a little bit in the giant slalom today, but nope, she's back in. I guess she stayed in still, hadn't passed through one of the gates, so she was able to get back on course. Now continuing with her run, but she's lost a lot of speed, and especially on this flat section, really hard to get back up to speed. So critical for finishing with a competitive time, boss.
Well, you know, Alex, it's also so difficult just to scrape all the speed or to miss a gate or to have to hike or something that just interrupts. And see, and there it's always like that. It's so hard to get back going. It's not so much a physical thing as it is a mental thing. And it looks like that Elise Luce from Castleton is down on the snow. She's going to be okay, though. Not too nasty of a spill. So a tough day for Elise Luce. She collected it once, but 2 times was just too much.
You have to expect that Castleton's going to come out on Thursday feeling like they have something to prove. They tend to excel at those technical events. Slalom, is their specialty. Should be exciting to watch them come out on Thursday and ski their hardest, boss.
Yes, indeed. Caitlin Sullivan from the Air Force Academy, flying high out of Colorado Springs. Now 3 gates to go for Caitlin Sullivan. Here comes Caitlin Sullivan, the Air Force Academy, and she makes it across into the corral with a time of 2:25.18. Now representing the Dirty South from Duke University, it's Ashley Cooper wearing bib 22, 78th fastest after the morning run. She'll be followed by Anna Mayusi from the Air Force Academy as well. Now on course, it's Ashley Cooper, the Duke Blue Devil. Really in the back seat here, scraping some speed.
Right, a lot of struggles there for Ashley Cooper. Almost losing into that same spot. You can see she's just trying to hang on here and make it to the bottom in one piece.
I think she's going to do that, though. Here comes Duke University's Ashley Cooper, the Blue Devil, with 2 gates to go. And across into the corral. A successful national championship run for Ashley Cooper from Duke University, representing the southern schools. They get to train in North Carolina mountains, a little different here than the big volcano we're on today. But she'll be back again on Thursday for the ladies slalom. Anna Mayusi from the Air Force Academy, now making her way out of the middle section into the lower third. 8 gates to go for Mayusi. She'll be followed by the University of Nevada at Reno, Savannah McKeeman.
Mayusi with a little bit of a leisurely ride here. Pole planting like a champion now as she goes into her tuck towards the finish line. That's Mayusi, Anna Mayusi, bib number 64 from the Air Force Academy, finishing with a combined time of 2:25.49. Now it's Savannah McKeenan of UNR, boss.
Here comes McKeenan now through the center section. You know, Alex, conditioning, a real important factor, especially on a run like this where you have to use all of your technical prowess. This is not a steep run. It's not that fast of a run. It's not that turny of a run. And that really requires you to nail every single entry, every single exit. You have to stay on edge. You can't scrape speed. And to do that requires not only mental strength, but an amazing amount of physical strength as well.
That's right. Well, that's what these athletes train for, boss. They train for these very technical courses because they know that they need to be on their toes if they want to make it through with the fastest time. And you know what? We've seen an incredible display of athleticism today as these athletes have risen to the challenge and have skied as fast as possible. It's almost a little too fast there. Bib number 40.
Savannah McKeeman, yes, from University of Nevada, Reno. 2:26.72 combined time. A great first GS for McKeeman. Now it's Allison Kowalski from Penn State. She'll be followed by her teammate Elizabeth Houston. Kowalski, 81st fastest after the morning session at 1:12.39. Funny how these teammates always come in with the exact same times, isn't it? Like she was 1:12.39, 1:13.08 for 82nd fastest after the morning session. Her teammate Elizabeth Houston. Allison Kowalski, the Nittany Lion from Penn State University, makes her way into the finish corral now. A good first day for Allison Kowalski. We'll see her back here again Thursday for the slalom. She has a combined time of 2:28.80.
It's Allison Kowalski, the senior From Penn State University, of course, from Hidden Valley, New Jersey, known for their salad dressing. I've seen Allison Kowalski chug an entire bottle of ranch salad dressing. She does it before every race to get in the zone, as it were. And it made all the difference today. So our hats off to Allison Kowalski from Penn State. Now it's bib number 73, Elizabeth Houston, also of Penn State. Just as you said, boss, their times back-to-back so close, they know who they have to beat. That's the real rivalry, and just one place position behind is her teammate is bib number 73, Elizabeth Houston of Penn State. She finishes with a combined time of 2:31.74.
So Kowalski-Houston rivalry heating up between teammates here. Kowalski getting the better end of the deal here today, but things could certainly change on Thursday for the slalom. Now back to live action, 6 gates to go. University of Nevada, Reno's Taylor Santon on course wearing bib 81. She was 83rd fastest after the first run with a time of 1:13.25. And now dropping in on course, bib number 60, her teammate Kendra Nixon. Across the stripe, it's Taylor Santon from the University of Nevada in Reno. I don't even know how you would get through college going to a college near Reno, but she did and waves to us and says hello to everybody out there on the USCSA Broadcast Network. A combined time of 2:28.29 for Taylor Santon from Nevada, Reno. Her teammate, Kendra Nixon, now moving her way through the center part of the course, dropping over the transition. Little shaky on that left boot. She's going to try to pull it in here. Let's see if yes, she does. Navigates well through the 7th gate, 6 to go. Here comes Kendra Nixon in bib number 60. From the University of Nevada at Reno. Now into her final tuck and punches the stripe in a time of 2:32.69.
Well, Kendra Nixon may not be a crook, but she has stolen my heart, boss. An incredible second run for bib number 60. We'll see her back on Thursday for the slalom. Now it's Rebecca Sharfey of Lafayette College wearing bib number 82 and an impressive orange bandana necky, an orange and white blur making its way down the mountain.
It's like a creamsicle.
I can barely see her. She's going so fast. Just an orange streak streaking down this trail now as she successfully navigates these final few turns, skiing with the veracity of an oiled gazelle.
You really didn't suggest she was streaking down the trail, did you?
I may have made such a comment, boss. It's just hard to see her. All I see is that she's got that orange bandana, blindingly orange. But she will finish. Bib number 82 finishes with a combined time of 2:36.17.
That's Rebecca Scharf from Lafayette College. Now Isabella Cooperstein. She had trouble, it looks, at the top of the run. And that's going to be the end of the day for Isabel Cooperstein. So we will have a short course hold here as we scrape down the last 10 ladies about to come down. Of course, a big day for Rocky Mountain College's Frida Svedberg, the defending national champion from last year in Lake Placid, New York, on a cold and wintry day on the Olympic GS and slalom run used by USCSA last year at Nationals. She came back and, boy, she got a run for her money from Natalie Pearl from Brown. But Pearl, with 5 gates to go and probably leading the event, goes for it just a little too hard, catches the edge and misses the gate, and that's the end of her day after leading the first run. That's ski racing. That's how it goes. If you don't try to win, you don't. So hats off to Natalie Pearl, giving it all she had in run number 2. But it's leaving Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College as the one to congratulate today. Back-to-back national championships for Frida Svedberg from Rocky Mountain College. Emily Gann now from the College of Idaho, wearing bib number 88. She was 87th fastest after the first run. Now she's on course. We can see her in the picture, making her way through the center part of the course. She'll be followed by Sarah Niederhofer from the University of Minnesota in Twin Cities. And Sarah's teammate, Kelsey Klingel, also from Minnesota Twin Cities. She awaits run 2 in the start shack high atop this Thunderbird Trail.
Emily Gahn, part of this young squad that Rob
Oh, it looks
Bonneau.
like she's down. Yep, we've had a little bit of a problem. Emily Gann from the College of Idaho. Again, right at the same place where Natalie Pearl had problems. I think it is a combination, Alex, of terrain, of pitch, of a transition, and more importantly, just dead tired legs.
That's right, boss. Now she's missing a piece of equipment, so that'll be the end of her day. But just a really trouble section there. You have to believe that these athletes will be thinking about that when they compete in the slalom. They know about all of the pitch changes. Those will remain the same even as the turns get tighter and closer together. They'll have a lot of information to work with and a lot to talk about for these next few days.
Now the final few gates for the University of Minnesota at Twin Cities, Sarah Niederhofer. Niederhofer now, she is followed by her teammate, Kelsey Klingel, but into the stripe and across with a combined time of 2:35.77 is Sarah Niederhofer from the University of Minnesota, the Twin Cities Magic. Coldest place on earth this winter, no doubt. Kelsey Klingel, her teammate, wearing bib 74. She was 89th fastest after the first sesh. And it looks like we see some ski smoke up there. That's usually not a good sign. Wondered if there's been problems. It looks like there may have been for Kelsey Klingel. We're still waiting for Kelsey Klingel.
See her helmet poking up now among the forest of red and blue. Looks like she had a little bit of trouble there, that flat section. Another difficult transition for some of these athletes going from the steeps back to the flats. You carry a little bit too much speed, and if you lose control, you can get shot out of the course, maybe lose some equipment, maybe get caught in some of the rough ruts and berms that develop during warm race days. Looks like that's what may have happened to Kelsey Klingel. Next will be the Air Force Academy's Ashley McEnery.
Meanwhile, a good crowd here at the base of the finish corral of the Women's GS. Everybody having a good time, enjoying the warm weather. It is T-shirt city down there. It's great to see these athletes stay around, cheer on their teammates, even cheer on folks that aren't on their team. It's all part of the camaraderie we see really promote here at the USCSA. And a beautiful day at Mount Bachelor as we look out upon the Three Sisters. More volcanoes ready to blow.